What is up, everyone? I know it's been a long time since I've done a video, but I did promise on my Last of Us 2 review earlier that we were going to have a discussion video, and here he is, the man of the hour, the myth, the legend, the one and only. Hey, Dad, let's play.
Hey, what's going on?
We are at my arcade and GTA. We thought it would be a nice mindless game to play while we discuss Last of Us 2, the most controversial game that has ever gamed in all of Gamington. It has people's pants tightened into their little butt cracks, and people are upset. I, for one, am not one of those people. Are you?
No, I'm not either. It's another masterpiece of a game.
Masterpiece.
Yep. And I don't understand how you could not like it. And I don't know, unless you just can't grasp emotionally what happened. I don't understand how you could just not like it.
Yes, that's what I think. I think some people just don't like the way it made them feel.
Right.
They don't like feeling like they've done something wrong.
Yeah.
Or, like, oh my gosh, I can't believe this is happening. Why would this character do such a thing? Well, pay attention to the rest of the story and you'll see exactly why these characters are shaped the way they are.
Yeah. Go ahead.
Oh, I was just thinking out loud.
Yeah.
Go ahead.
No, so you have to go ahead and throw spoiler warning out there.
Oh, yes.
Probably, yeah.
For sure. Spoilers ahead. If you watch after this moment, I'm walking up the stairs, passing my little anime girl. If you walk past this, you'll know. But anyway. Spoiler talk. Real talk. Real spoiler talk. As I survey my arcade. Yes. But yeah, let's just get the big part out of the way. The big, crazy, everybody upset part. Joel gets Negan'd.
Yeah.
Gets Negan'd with a golf club, and I think I would rather have Negan coming after me than Abby.
Oh, yeah, for sure.
Because Negan's going to make fun of me a little bit, but he's going to kill me kind of quick.
Yeah.
Abby does not.
Was, no. In it for revenge, and, I don't want to say justifiably, but I kind of do. I mean, she had a good reason to feel the way she felt.
Oh, yeah.
And I don't know. That, I guess, upset people because, in the first game, you come to love Joel and Ellie as your protagonists of the game. But Joel has done bad things, and the ending of that game is a bad thing in the eyes of the whole world, mostly, not just Abby,
Yeah.
But he kind of seals his fate by killing that doctor to save Ellie, and I understand what he went through, and it's what I feel like the choice I would have actually made as well. I mean, it all, but every choice has a consequence, and I feel like that's what people are missing when they're just getting upset about that.
Oh, they're acting like Joel is a saint.
Right.
Like he was some sort of, holy figure from the first game that we're not allowed to touch.
Right.
Whose actions had no consequences.
Yeah. Which is insane.
God, there's so many phone calls in this game. I was trying to turn the music off, and they don't stop calling. So we're just going to drive around like Jerry Seinfeld and get some coffee and talk about Last of Us. Only we're going to be funny.
Yeah, hopefully.
Burn, Jerry. You got my number. Come at me, bro. What's the deal with this red light? Oh.
What's the deal with driving around?
You put the gas in the car, and then you drive, and then you gotta get more gas. What's the deal? God, that's some Carlin-esque stuff, Jerry.
Oh, yeah, groundbreaking.
So Joel is the hero of Last of Us 2 up until the end, where he just like Harvey Dent said in The Dark Knight, he lived long enough to see himself become the villain.
Sure.
He was selfish. He felt Ellie was his.
Yeah.
I don't know if he saved her life as much for her as he did for himself.
Well, that's a big thing there too. Is he fell into this situation with this girl that was the same age as his daughter that died, and he traveled across the whole country with her, and of course he identifies with her as a surrogate daughter.
Oh yeah.
And so when you definitely was for himself, but he did love her, and it's like he says in the second game in that one flashback scene when she confronts him about it. When she says, "My life would have meant something, and you took that away from me." And he just flat out tells her, he said, "I'd do it all again if I could."
He'd fucking do it again.
Fucking do it again.
Well, I want to believe in a good heart for him. I really do.
Sure.
I want to believe in the you're gonna kill her, but did you even tell her? Yeah. But in the end, it's the fate of the world.
Yeah.
And you can make all the excuse you want that they could use it for political means, but that also means that many people will not get infected.
That's true.
Even if they did that, there's no guarantee that they would have done that. Honestly, I think they would have, but we don't know.
Right. Well, maybe this makes me a bad person, but it comes down, it's the same as the trolley question, There's a person tied to the tracks, you can pull the lever and move the train and kill the person and save all the people on the train. Or you could just let it go over the cliff. Well, you immediately go, well, sorry, that one guy has to die, save all the people on the train. And then they go, that person on the train is your son. And then you go, oh, well, shit. I guess all these people on this trolley are going to die. At least that's the way I would answer that question.
Yeah. Oh, well, sorry guys.
Yep.
But also that, saving the trolley or saving the boy has nothing to do with the fate of the world.
That's true. It's blown up times a lot there from
it's
the
like
train to the world. But.
It's like, oh yeah, we're gonna take that concept and we're gonna multiply that. By how much? Oh, you don't want to know. Just wait till you get there.
You don't want to know. So one of the coolest things or the best things about the second game, I think, is, so you said a while ago that Joel's the protagonist of the first one. In the second game, you could call Ellie a protagonist if you wanted to. You could call Abby a protagonist if you wanted to, but I don't think that's really accurate. I don't think that this game has protagonist or antagonist in any sort of traditional sense. It's just like real people faced with brutal reality is really what this game is. I've never played anything like it, and I almost want to say that I've never experienced another piece of media like it.
No, there's a couple things that like touch on different emotions with people. Just a handful of games I can think of,
right?
That dabble in the emotions.
Right.
The first game I really felt emotions like this for was Metal Gear Solid 3. And then Mass Effect series, where they make you actually choose to do do you want to do the bad or the good thing in the situation,
right.
And then they show you your consequences from that. But I've never had an entire game just say, how you like things black and white? Well, here's a big blob of gray. Deal with it.
Yeah.
There's gray and then there's dark. Like we have people trying to survive, and they do some bad things, and we have evil people like the Rattlers.
Right. Yeah.
Like,
yeah. Well, and then
you learn the Scars, they're not so bad, you know?
yeah.
These people just keep antagonizing each other, and I think probably Isaac was the worst because he was like, I'm a military man.
Yeah, he definitely seems the worst.
And then you never know.
Oh yeah, yeah. Well, and then you brought up the Rattlers, and they're definitely the darkest, quote unquote, evil thing that you see. But this game, even if it could, the way it turns every other faction on its head and says, okay, look at these people, they're real people. I would say that they could do it with them. I mean, not necessarily the people that are in charge of saying these are all slaves and I'm turning them into clickers and using them as weapons, but there are people caught up in the middle of that are just regular people.
Oh yeah, I mean, and people do these people who are upset really not think that this wouldn't happen in a post-apocalyptic world?
Right.
I mean, have you even watched Mad Max? Like,
exactly.
What did you think when you watched Mad Max? Oh, I can't believe this is so. This is unrealistic and forced.
Yeah.
No,
I don't understand. I don't understand the forced argument at all. Everything feels like a very natural character progression if you're looking at these as real people.
Yeah, they're not superhuman. Ellie,
right?
Okay, and I made a point of this in my review. Ellie has lost everybody she's loved in her life, with the exception of Dina.
Right.
But she abandoned Dina.
Yeah.
So she essentially lost her too.
Yeah.
Now we don't know what's going to happen later in Ellie's life if she were to go meet up with Dina, how that would go.
Sure.
But we do know that Dina moved away at the end of that game.
Yep.
So that's up in the air.
Assumedly went back to Jackson, but who knows?
I would assume so too. I don't even know where else she would go. I wouldn't travel anywhere further than that place because it looked pretty fortified. No. Had a nice fence and some wheat and animals.
Right.
Yep. But if she's like, if Ellie's going to do this, we can't have that in our life. Because
no.
What's Ellie going to bring back with her, even if she returns? What kind of vengeance is going to rain down on Ellie after this?
Exactly. Yeah. That's definitely a question that she had to have on her mind. And this is something that just hit me. How selfish of Ellie to go do that when they had that baby.
Yeah,
you know what
exactly.
I mean? Like, how that's just terrible.
And it's over with.
Yeah,
the fight was over.
It was done. Yeah.
She spared you twice.
Yeah.
Twice. When she probably, in that kind of world, you really shouldn't ever spare anyone.
Right.
Because we see what happens.
Yeah.
You're with the group. And if your group doesn't survive, it looks like, you're just screwed. So you got to stick with your group. You got to look out for the group. So if you guys, they beat up Joel and he's got his brother and what appears to be his daughter there, what the hell are you going to do? You're going to let them live?
Right.
So I can't, just the fact that they did that is, a protagonist-like move, even though...
Sure. Oh, yeah.
It's really hard to say anybody was a protagonist because everybody was kind of a jerk. But I think if you're going to say anybody was a protagonist in that game, it is Abby.
Yeah.
After you find out what she went through, all her choices could be considered righteous to someone.
Yeah, sure. Yeah. Yes, you definitely could do that.
Joel didn't just kill her dad. He slaughtered hundreds of people.
Oh, yeah.
Just slaughtered them. And if you chose to kill everybody, which I think the majority of people did, and you didn't try to sneak past anybody in that ending Firefly scene, you probably killed upwards of maybe 50 Fireflies just in that spot.
Yeah.
And if you're like me, you like to combat and then have people try to call for backup and stuff. Because I want to fight as much as possible in the game. Because that's like in Metal Gear Solid. I will get discovered on purpose just to so I can fight some more people and leave one person alive, knock them out. Then I hide, and I get discovered again, and more people show up. And it's an endless cycle of bodies.
Mm-hmm.
But not everybody plays like that.
Right, yeah.
But Abby to me is the most protagonist character in the game. I could see. I mean, and some people don't like it that the game made you understand Abby. They don't like playing as Abby. I mean, I don't understand it, but it's like once you find out that she's the daughter of that doctor,
yeah,
and then you're like, well, yeah, I don't even need to see anything more. I don't even need. But the game did.
Yeah.
They showed you how good a man that doctor was.
Right.
He wanted to save that zebra.
Yeah.
And Owen's a good guy. They're all good people. They're flawed, obviously.
Right.
But who isn't? It's the real world.
That's what makes them real. Like those flaws and the way that they react to being put in these terrible situations is what makes them real. Like this is an amazing evolution for a video game, right? Because you're not just stomping on Goombas and saving a princess. You get to see and experience what those Goombas' lives are like.
Oh God,
right?
Yeah,
right.
They need to make that game.
Exactly.
How long can you survive as a Goomba against Mario?
Right.
Just
But that's a silly. Whoa!
That guy just got right in front of me. Okay, go continue.
It's a silly way to generalize it, but just what it does to make these characters feel like real human beings and make you experience what they're going through. That's what I keep being hung up on. I mean, the game is great, the gameplay's great, there's a lot of good stuff in it, and I'm just so hung up on like how real it feels and how like every turn is like a punch in the gut because you're experiencing what these people are experiencing in this terrible, terrible world that they live in.
Well, and most of this game is really Zombie 101.
Right.
A good zombie story 101. It's about the people. There's monsters in the background. It's not just about killing monsters.
Right. Yeah.
And these same people who are all upset must be really upset watching No Country for Old Men, Yeah. Other movies like that. Yeah. Movies that aren't like happy, and sometimes things just don't end the way you want them to end.
Yeah, no, they just it blows my mind.
In all honesty, like the Star Wars movies, the Emperor should have won.
Yeah.
I mean, I don't see how he didn't.
Right.
And he had so many chances to win.
Right.
But there should be more. I think honestly, bad guys should win more often because they do a whole lot in real life.
Exactly. Yeah. That you bringing up Star Wars, the best Star Wars movie is Empire Strikes Back, and that's like so.
Do these people watch that and go, but this is the story I want.
Yeah.
This is what I want.
It's that whole argument kills me too. Like, it has nothing to do with what you want. Like, this is the story that they've set out, and this is the piece of artwork that they're trying to show us. Like, has nothing to do with what we want. I didn't play this, but it sounds the same as what people are upset with Mass Effect 3.
Yeah.
It sounds like the same argument, but I haven't played that. So.
Well, they gave them a definitive ending.
Right.
If you want to end a trilogy, you can't leave it up to the players.
Right.
Everybody wanted to make all these choices at the end of Mass Effect 3, and they did their best on giving choices. Like, they're like, oh, here's this ending. They give, I think after DLC, there's like 5 or 6 endings. And they're like,
right.
that's all we can do to make sure we definitively end the trilogy. Because if you want it to end, you can't give the players the choice to like choose the ultimate ending. Because also, you gotta have endings that intertwine in the same kind of thing. Because if you were to progress the story further, you have to. I mean, what are you gonna do? Which ending are you gonna choose?
Right.
So they had to kind of wrap it up into one little ball. But players, it just, and I normally don't talk trash about my fellow millennials or anything else, but that's one problem we have is we can't accept a piece of art or a medium or a movie or a game if it's not everything we wanted.
Right.
We automatically gotta hate it.
Yeah.
And it drives me crazy because it happens with some of my favorite movies. People like, oh, I didn't like this part of it, so I hate it.
Right.
You hate it? Like that Terminator Genesis. You hate it? It's not great, but it's still fun.
Yeah, right.
And then another perfect example, Terminator Terminator what's that? Dark Fate.
The newest one?
The newest one is like almost right on the nose with Last of Us. Spoilers for Terminator Dark Fate. John Connor dies in the beginning, much like
in the
Joel.
Very beginning.
And then they progress the story without him because we've had enough John Connor. His story's been told. We've had enough Joel. His story was told. The first game was his arc, his bit of his, his. It's kind of a redemption. He was a smuggler. He was not a good guy. I mentioned this in my review that he broke in the beginning. Robert, he broke his arm and they killed him over some guns. He was a smuggler. He disobeyed the law.
Yeah.
He probably killed a lot of people. He told Ellie that he's ambushed and killed people, just like that bad faction was doing.
Yep.
It's a product of the world, but Ellie made him better, but also made him selfish.
Right.
But John Connor didn't have that luxury. He just got blown the fuck away. But it's the same principle. Once that happened, it doesn't matter how good the movie is. Everybody's just like, sure. I hate it. And I loved Dark Fate.
Yeah. Yeah.
It's not the best, but I think it's definitely the third best.
Yeah. Yeah. No, it was good. I liked it too. And there were people in the theater when I was watching it that were like, "What the?" when he died. But I mean, everybody was shocked by it, But
oh yeah, I was too. I was in the theater alone, and there's hardly anybody in there with me. It was a local theater, and I'm just eating some of my popcorn, and I look up and I'm like, "Oh, look at that! They made him look really young and really good." And I'm like, look at Sarah. She looks great. And all of a sudden I see the Terminator walking up. I'm like, oh no. And he pulls out his gun and starts shooting John. I was like, no, whoa. This is not what I expected at the beginning of this movie. Apparently there were leaks and a lot of people spoiled themselves on that too. So it's a lot more like Last of Us than I thought, actually.
Yeah. Yeah. No, I'm glad I avoided as best as I could the leaks and the spoilers for this game. I can't imagine if I had already known all the story beats. I probably would attached and as ready to throw out the word masterpiece as I am. But
well, you'd have been upset going into it.
Sure.
Also, knowing what's coming would just make the game a lot more boring.
Right.
I mean, you can always anticipate what's next, but you just when you don't know, it's a lot better. But knowing Joel was going to die going into it would have been rough for me.
Yeah. Yep.
I mean, I expected him to die, honestly.
I was gonna say, I had a pretty good idea that he was going to, but it's like somebody commented. I made that video when I first got to that portion of the game. I made a video and kind of talked about what I thought about it and why is everybody hating on this and stuff. That was before I'd ever finished the game. And somebody commented on there, despite the circumstances, Joel couldn't keep being the hero anyway because, what was it? Because we can't have some 70-year-old badass out in the zombie apocalypse. I was like, yeah.
Well, I don't think he was that old.
No, for sure he wasn't that old.
He looks like he's like, what, late 50s?
Probably, yeah. Yeah.
Because I think he was 50 in the first game.
Yeah, probably.
Or at least around there.
Yeah, there's 5 years between it was what Google said. I looked it up last night. And
that's yeah. I think that's what the game said in one of the cinemas. But you know, it's hard to remember that the game is 30 hours.
Right.
I put 30 hours into it.
I for sure did. Yeah. I want to play it again. Play through the New Game Plus, which is rare for me because I don't always do that.
That's what I'm doing. But I'm gonna take a lot more time with it because I'm gonna explore even more.
Yeah.
And I really want to get my weapons upgraded because it's really hard to find weapon parts.
Oh yeah, yeah. Yep, they're scattered out. That's another thing. I can't remember absolutely for sure, but I think I was pretty much all the way upgraded by the end of the first game.
I was, if not very close, of the first game, and I had all the I had most of my health upgrades and all that stuff full. But this one made it a lot harder.
Oh yeah.
Which it's a good thing.
It is a good thing. It is.
Especially if you want replay value.
Right. Well, and it's intended for people that have already been through the first one, obviously. I mean, and that's why I think there's a little bit of a difficulty spike with that and with, just the game in general, because we're banking on people already having an experience with that game series and with that world.
Oh, they threw a lot at you at the beginning whenever you finally encounter the infected.
Right. Yeah.
And that first part where they're all frozen, that is just crazy.
Oh yeah.
And I tried fighting them at first, and I was like, nope. So I was like, what? And my wife was next to me, and I'm playing. I'm like, why are there so many so early? I'm like fighting, and then I'm like, nope, just running.
Yep.
I'm pretty sure I'm supposed to run or almost come to death. Like some games will throw a bunch of enemies at you and almost kill you, but you're saved.
Right, yeah.
You're fighting your heart out, and all of a sudden, like, some bullets come out of nowhere and save you. Oh, yeah, that was supposed to happen. So there have been times where I've let myself die thinking that's what's supposed to happen, and I've been wrong.
Well, so, I don't know if you're ready to jump ahead this far, but stop me if you're not.
You can talk whatever you want.
So, towards the end, when you're playing as Abby and you finally get to the theater and catch up with Ellie, I think it's in the theater. You finally catch up with her and you have to fight her, and it's like I texted you. I was like, if it's gonna make me kill Ellie, I don't know what I can't do this.
You're just gonna put the game down. Yep, I got that far. I'm never gonna play it again. I'm gonna go sell it right now.
Right. And it's like, as I was playing that, I thought they will not make me kill her. Like, they can't. So you would get to a point where it's like, smash square, to keep choking her or whatever. And, like, in the other parts of the game, when you're prompted to do that, you're like, yeah, mom, mashing on the button. And it's like, when I'm doing it to Ellie, it's like, tap. Surely they're gonna make me stop. I can't tap.
Yeah, I was just barely hitting it.
Yeah.
I let myself get killed by Ellie with the shotgun.
Ellie killed me probably about 6 times before I was like, oh, they're gonna make me do this. Like, I would like sneak around a little bit, and then I'd let her show up and kill me, and I was like, shit, seriously? They're gonna make me do this? I'm very glad they didn't.
Oh, you were close though. When at the end when she was like punching her in the face, and she's like coughing up blood, I'm like, stop!
Yeah, I know, right?
And then when she had that knife to Dina's throat, I was like, oh god, are we just gonna watch a pregnant lady get her throat slit?
Right, exactly. Yeah. Well, Ellie killed Mel, right? So.
Yep, exactly.
When Abby has a hold of Dina and Ellie goes, stop, she's pregnant, and Abby just goes, good. I was like, oh shit, this is about to go down.
She knows.
Yeah.
And we'll just get back to that. This was another revenge quest for Abby.
Yeah.
They brought it upon themselves.
Yep. They did, and the game does a good job of showing you that too. I would never ever say that I was mad at the game. I did have very strong, conflicted feelings. Strong when I thought that I was gonna have to kill Ellie. Like, because what Naughty Dog does so well is their character development, and you watch this little girl grow up through the first game. You know her, you love her, you understand her struggle now as an adult in the next game, even though in Abby's eyes, and if they did a good enough job convincing you, which they did me, you know that they've got that's what's coming to them. You know that. But you've also seen the whole other side of that, and that's why you sympathize and you don't want to push that square button one more time. Like,
yeah, well, that brings me to one of my other points about Ellie. A lot of people wanted the Ellie from the first game, the Ellie that was, happy and curious, but
she was a little kid though. Like,
yeah, she was a kid. This Ellie is post finding out that Joel ruined her chance at meaning something.
Sure. Yeah.
And so she's completely changed. You can see how timid she is around people. She's not even in the first game. She's all like, "Oh, hey, oh." Bill's there being a jerk. She's like, "You're a jerk." In this game, she's quiet and reserved.
Yeah.
She just doesn't know where she belongs anymore. And Dina was the only thing that kind of brought her out.
Right.
And you see why she wanted to fight for Joel, though. If we're going to skip towards the end, because the day before he died, she said, "I'd like to try to forgive you." And she knew she wanted to forgive him, but the only way she felt she could is to go on a murder spree.
Yeah, that's exactly what it was.
Because that's what Joel would have done for me.
Exactly. Yep.
And I also want to say this. I don't want to hear people talking crap about Tommy either. He lost his brother. He lost his wife. He's handicapped, brain damage probably.
Yep.
He's got nothing but revenge.
Yeah, that's all he has left. Yep, that's all he has left. And that's another character that's up in the air by the end too. Like, what did happen to Tommy? Because he was so pissed that Ellie's like, "No, I can't go do that again." Like, did he venture out on his own again?
Well, I just think he knows he wouldn't be able to do it.
Yeah.
I think he knows, because these people that he was going after, they have training, military training. I mean, who knows how many are left after that big war. That was freaking intense.
Oh, yes.
But, and when you're fighting the sniper, and then I thought...
And then it's Tommy?
Oh, yeah. I thought it was him. In my heart, I was like, I think this is Tommy. But I didn't know. But when I found out, I was like, "Oh, am I gonna have to kill Tommy now?" Because when we start wrestling with him by the pier, I was like, "Oh, I don't want to kill Tommy."
I know. I thought he was dead more than once in that game.
Yes. He got stabbed and thrown in the ocean, cold ocean, during a storm. And then he gets. I thought he got shot in the head. Did he get shot through the head?
I don't know. Like,
it looked like it.
I thought that's what happened. And then when you see him at the farm towards the end, his face is kind of messed up.
Yeah. So it looks like he's got like a saggy part of his eye, like it's like almost closed.
Yeah.
But his eye's still there, so I don't.
Right. Yeah,
maybe it got
sure.
lodged in there. I don't know how he would survive that. So maybe he got grazed.
Yeah, maybe.
Because he did get hit quite a few times with that gun.
Yeah.
And a lot of movies, you don't know how bad a pistol whip is, but a pistol is a heavy thing.
Yeah.
It's made of metal.
Yep. Oh man, I didn't have it in my mind when I was playing through that sniper part that it was Tommy, and I got up close and stuff, and I threw a pipe bomb.
Oh no!
Yeah.
Did you kill him?
It exploded. No, it didn't kill him. You probably can't kill him. But I got up close.
He's a hell of a shot too. Anytime
Right.
you're out in the open, you're just
You're
grazed
getting
at least. Yeah.
Yeah. But when you get back into that building, I managed to get into a position where I was pretty close to him. I threw a pipe bomb and it exploded and it like knocked him over and he took off running again. I was like, what the hell? And so I kept going and I finally got to him. I was like, oh shit, I almost killed Tommy.
And he killed Manny. I liked Manny.
He was such a good. I know. I liked Manny too. Yeah, and that's I bring that up in my review that's not finished yet. But one of the coolest things about the AI partners in this game is how they also add to the story and the relationships of the characters.
And
So, like-
rest in peace, Jesse.
Yes. Oh, I liked him too.
I was kind of hoping the next game would be Jesse. Early
Right.
on, I was like, he's a Joel archetype. You know, he
Yeah.
admires Joel, and
Uh-huh.
he works hard for his for Jackson, and he dead. Just suddenly, Walking Dead style dead.
Yep. But there was one part where you're in that train yard, and Manny, in my playthrough, he positioned himself in a way that he gave it away that we were there. Like the stealth was blown, it was Manny's fault, and he starts cussing and stuff, and we're running around and we're fighting, and then once we got through the encounter, he actually said, "I'm sorry they saw me." Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah, and then I've got a clip of it. I put it in the video, so you'll have to check it out. But
He didn't do that with me.
yeah, see, that's how good. Like, not only is it a great writing and character moment, the programming in this game is amazing too, because that AI character realized that he screwed it up.
Oh.
And so, yeah.
I'm going to have to listen more carefully on my next playthrough then, because
Yeah.
I don't know if he ever gave me away.
You're right.
Because sometimes, I'll be honest, when I see a group of dogs or something,
Yeah.
I Molotov them. Because
Yeah. Oh,
they
yeah.
are so hard to fight.
Yeah.
If you're trying to fight people and fight the dog,
No, you
that
gotta
I
take
just-
out the dogs.
I just go,
Yeah.
I'm like, okay, I'm going to lure this person and the dog here, and I'm going to Molotov them. And then their friends are like, oh my God, Stephanie! I'm like, this game made me feel bad about killing NPCs. Like,
Yeah,
did I
know.
just kill somebody's best friend? Or their
'Cause they're real
sister?
people.
Yeah, they made
feel
them
like
real people.
Yeah.
It's not like
But-
GTA where I could kill and kill and kill and never
Right.
be satiated. I am a blood god.
Yeah. But, like, so Manny apologizes, and then Abby even said, it's all good, you know, something like that. And it's like, that little piece of brilliant programming even added more to the character development.
Hmm.
It's amazing.
No, it's terrible. It's awful. The game's terrible. It made me feel like a person and have emotions and feelings, and I don't like it. It's terrible. It's forced.
Terrible.
Terrible.
Terrible. It's what
The game is-
Spaniards would
so
call
many
El
people-
Terrible.
There are people giving it 5 and 6s. 5
I
out
don't
of 10.
understand that.
I'm
No
like,
way.
and I say, even if you I said, I'm going to give you the benefit of the doubt. You don't like the story. Even though you're wrong, you don't like the story. You cannot deny that this game isn't a masterpiece just by the gameplay.
Exactly. Yeah.
I said the gameplay,
gameplay-
is top notch, stellar. It even it made me feel stealthier than Metal Gear Solid, and that game is all about stealth.
The stealth in this game is the best I've ever played in any game. Hands down. That's not hyperbole. The stealth is the best I've ever experienced.
Oh, and if you don't use the stealth, good luck winning, because
yeah,
there's a lot
exactly.
more infected and a lot more enemies in this game.
And
in
smarter. The enemies are smarter.
And they will look for you in cover.
Yep.
They will look under the cars. First time I hid under a car, I'm like, hey, they're not going to find me. And they looked right at me, and I'm like, son of a bitch! And I shot her right in the face. But that gave me away, because she was going to see me anyway, so I wasn't going to give her the first shot.
Right. My favorite thing with the stealth is towards the end when you're Abby in that flooded out building, and you can go under the water and pull these idiots down into the water and just murder them. Like, that made me feel so good.
Rambo.
Swimming around in that water and grabbing those guys like your friggin' Jaws. That was awesome.
You were Batmaning. You were Batmaning going in there, although you were killing
exactly.
them.
Yeah,
exactly. We'll say you were Snake, because he'll kill people.
Yeah. Sure, yeah.
Whatever. Yeah, sure, whatever, kid.
Sure.
Oh, look, a bike.
Oh, my motorcycle.
I didn't even notice until I was right next to it. I said, look, a bike. But yeah, I mean, and let's just say this. Abby, I don't care if she's super buff. If people want to talk about her looks and why is she so cool, badass looking, why is Ellie so skinny? Because she's been training her whole life to kill Joel.
Her whole life. Yeah, her whole life has been about killing Joel. Like, that's why.
And she's got to know, dude, this guy killed like 50, 60 fireflies and like have to be in top physical condition.
Yeah.
Like, you can't like, there's hardly anybody in that world that can just step up and kick Joel's ass. Because, I mean, he's a tough son of a bitch.
Yeah.
He killed soldiers. How do you kill 60 soldiers in a small confined space that have machine guns and gas masks and shit? But he did it because it's a video game. But he did it.
Right.
In canon.
Mm-hmm.
And he didn't have to kill that doctor, but he did, so he's the villain.
Right.
But what's that doctor gonna do? Chase you with his little scalpel?
Yeah.
Just shove him away, Joel. I've seen you. I beat to death clickers in that game. Okay, I'm not scared of that guy.
Yeah. Right.
They might grab me, but I've always got plenty of shivs. I'm good.
Yeah. Strong.
Strong. Oh, and when you punch people as Abby, you could feel it. Like it.
Oh yeah. Yeah.
They did a very good job of making you feel everything in that game.
Yeah, they for sure did. Yeah.
And it's so damn rainy.
I really like how different just controlling Abby versus Ellie feels. How you can tell, and that always blows my mind anyway, in any game that can do that, is it's the same 2 joysticks and 8 buttons-ish doing the same things for both characters, and yet they feel like completely different people.
Well, and they give them a couple different weapons, you know, some different upgrades. So they didn't just feel like carbon copies with just different skins.
Exactly. Yeah.
Which was, I mean, I would have been fine with anyway. Just give them the same moves and the same weapons. I'd have been fine. I just need a different story. But they went above and beyond.
Yeah.
I mean, Abby's they like even make a big deal about Abby's favorite gun, and then you can upgrade it to make it like 3-round burst and all sorts of shit.
Yeah.
We've just been driving around this whole place so long. In the end, though, 10 out of 10.
I agree. 10 out of 10.
I'd give it a higher rating too. I'd give it 12 out of 10. But I've been, you know what prepared me for a lot of this? I'm just gonna say this right now. Silent Hill games prepared me for the unhappy endings.
Oh, really?
Silent Hill is a whole lot of unhappiness.
I've never played a Silent Hill.
Silent Hill is all about torturing person's psyche for like misdeeds or who they are as a person is like they're a bad person. So Silent Hill just tortures you.
Right.
That's what it's all about.
Yeah.
So there's not much happiness to Silent Hill. Sometimes there's a nice ending, you know, there's good endings, but for the most part, you know, it's like now this is your hell. Congratulations.
Right.
But the thing is, that's primarily a horror game, so people come to accept it.
Right. Right.
People fell in love with Ellie. Ellie was everybody's child.
Yeah.
So, I feel like we could go on and on with this. But is there anything else you wanted to say about it before we wrap this up?
No, I mean, I think I've gotten it all out, what I needed to say. I mean, it's a fantastic piece of art, in my opinion. And we've done nothing but gush about it, and that's because the only details that I don't care for, that I didn't like, are very tiny, minor little gameplay issues. You know, it's definitely would be a nitpick to pick anything and say I don't like this. But the game as a whole is a masterpiece. Like there's no giant glaring issue that makes me go, oh, this is garbage. Like, because it's too good.
And that new infected in the hospital.
Oh my god! What the heck?
I knew something was happening. I was talking to you that very day in the party, and I said, "Hey, dude, I gotta go. I think something big is gonna happen, and I don't want to spoil it for you."
Right.
And like 1 minute afterwards, I just progressed to that stupid freaking ambulance, and I turned around. There's that thing, and I went. My wife sat next to me, and I went, "Oh my god!"
Yeah. So
it was terrifying.
I know it. So when you
stop sending me invitations, Tyler.
When you first go up to the door, before you get the generator turned on, if you go up and check that door, you hear something back there growling and banging. And if you hold the listen button,
oh, I remember that. I heard the growling. Remember, I think I told you that too. I hear something in here. I keep hearing something in here.
And if you hold that listen button next to the door, you see this like big white mass.
I didn't do that.
I did that, but it doesn't show you what
outlines
it is. It doesn't give
anything.
it away. It's just this big white mass. You're like, oh, what the fuck is that? And so you keep going, and then you get in the ambulance, and that friggin' thing. Oh my gosh, I don't. Okay. If there is a third game, not just that part, but how are they going to top it? Especially that. Like, how can you top that monster?
I think the only way to do it is, first of all, that thing had to have been infected since day one, because it was in the hospital at the spot where the infection started there.
One of those things in that made it up. One of the things inside of it was probably Patient Zero, right? I mean,
probably, or somebody around Patient Zero, because we don't know who died in the beginning, but somebody who's been infected since the beginning.
Sure.
And probably was a bloater that got, I don't know, the next stage of bloaterness.
Right.
And it just started. Well, you know how those things were on the walls?
Yes.
Those monsters. So it probably
all those
started
things
hooking.
Were like in there. They were all in there together, and they started like, you know.
So I think enough of those. I think enough of the infected were in one general area where the cordyceps and the fungus and everything just kind of attached to everything.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
And became a blob.
Right.
I don't know though. I'm sure they'll release something about its history or something, because I'm sure they're going to get asked.
Apparently, it's called the Rat King.
Yeah, I saw that today. Because I heard Last of Us 2 Rat King. I went, Rat King? Yeah. What is there, a Ninja Turtles reference? I said, well, there is a lot of drawings around. Maybe one of those kids drew the Rat King. I don't know.
Drew the Rat King, yeah.
Of all the things to draw from Ninja Turtles, they draw the Rat King. They don't draw any of the turtles or anything. Hey, my favorite character was Dad. And he just draws the Rat King.
Dad. Yeah. So they call it that because what the real life Rat King is, right? It's the rats that get their tails all tangled up, and then they live the rest of their life as one organism.
Wow, stupid.
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah.
You would think they'd bite their tail off or something.
You think they would? You think they would?
The more you know.
But not just that thing. That's one of the things, but where do they go from here? And I'm not just talking in a narrative sense, but how do they top this? How do they top this game?
I was kind of thinking that thing in a future game could evolve to be even bigger. We don't know what it could do if it kept.
It's not necessarily dead. I mean, it just fell over and stopped. You know.
Well, I think it's implied that it is dead.
It was burnt to a pretty good crisp on my playthrough, but
yep, mine too. I mean, I hit it with everything, and I hit it with the exploding buckshot.
Yeah.
The flamethrower.
The incendiary, yeah, the flamethrower.
I think it was locked in there, and that's probably how it happened. Because I was behind that big old door. Did you see the thing that it came out of though? It looked like a big butthole.
Yeah, it did. I wondered for a minute. So when it first happened, when it first broke out, I looked at it and I was like, I wonder if I'm supposed to go in there. It's like, I'm not gonna go in there. I'm gonna walk around and look and stuff. But when I play through it again, I'm gonna see if you can go into that big butthole.
I didn't go in there. I think I remember saying in the party, "Nope, I ain't going. Nope, not going in there." Because I was just looking at it, and I was like, I can't spoil anything. But it looks like I shouldn't go in there.
Right. Yeah. Yeah.
But I think you're right about that. Could be Patient Zero, or at least the people who were around Patient Zero.
Right.
Because I'm assuming at one point the hospital just said, "Seal it."
Yeah.
Seal it up.
Yeah. Seal it up. Leave them down there. Yeah.
And I would totally agree.
Yeah.
And look what happened. It should have been done sooner.
Yeah. Yeah.
I expect that's why when people were like, "Oh, I can't believe the military did crazy things during like zombie apocalypse stuff," I'm like, I can't. What the hell do you think's happening?
Exactly. Yeah.
They're bombing the city. Sorry. I mean, I'd hate to be in that city, but I get it.
Yeah, I for sure get it. Oh, I didn't talk about the map in the beginning. So, and this is one of the many minor little gripes.
I mean, you got to throw a couple gripes in there so people know that we're not totally biased.
Yeah. So I'm not. Yeah, it's not. Well, I almost said it's not perfect, but it is. But
look,
my motorcycle!
Perfect. This.
Oh, I'm all distraught now. No, so in the beginning, when you first get to Seattle with Ellie and Dina, and she has that map. And then you can see the locate. Oh, it's on fire! You can see the buildings in the locations, and you blah blah blah. Okay, I was so impressed by that.
Oh, but that's one of the parts that people hate.
I was so impressed with it, and I was so upset that it didn't come back. Like I thought. I think I even said to you, I was like, I've never played a game that used the map this way.
Oh, Silent Hill did.
Really?
Yeah, Silent Hill Resident Evil used maps, but not quite to the effectiveness as that. Silent Hill's probably the closest thing I can think of because they actually circle places that have significance on it.
And then you just kind of like there's no waypoint, there's no nonsense. It's just you kind of find your way and use that map and get there. And like I was so impressed with that. I really liked that, and then that went away very quickly. And that's a little minor gripe that I had, but it doesn't.
It's like, what you gonna do?
What you gonna do?
What you gonna do? If that ruins the experience for you, you might be Angry Joe. I'm gonna build my channel on your back, you crybaby. No, I'm joking.
I'm gonna tweet your video at him.
I'm not one of those people that tries to use other people to get success. Pat.
Oh man, you're going after the big boys.
I'm going after the big. I actually enjoy both of their content, by the way. But I mean, you got to call out BS when you see BS, man. Right. You can't let the things that you like get away with doing some BS.
Oh yeah, for sure.
Just like James, if you ever watch this video, James Rolfe Get Mike Matei off your channel. He's a racist. He's not funny, and he's an asshole.
Yeah, yeah. Give him
I
a
love
boot.
your channel, but boot Mike because he's a fucking retard.
Uh-huh.
And I mean that in the
Yep.
nicest way possible.
Yep,
And bring
I
back
know-
rental reviews. I love it.
Yeah.
I love
I'm-
everybody else on your channel except for Mike. Mike
Yep.
can eat a bag of dicks filled with herpes and AIDS.
Oh.
Just filled to the brim.
Filled.
Like, hey, Magic Johnson, can we borrow your dick? Oh, we're just gonna feed it to Mike Matei. Transfer all your AIDS energy into your dick, and we will feed it to Mike. Oh, you don't want to do it? Let me just tell you, he's a real big racist. Oh, okay. Please, Magic Johnson, don't cut off your dick. This video has gotten crazy.
It has. It has.
I'd like to wrap it up, but unless there's anything else you'd like to say,
No,
because
I'm good.
I feel I'm at the point to where if I have to describe any more of this game to people, then they're just not going to play it, and everybody needs to play it.
Right.
Like we've
Yeah,
said
everybody
a
does
lot,
need to.
but there's so much more, and the
I
little
agree.
fine details in this game. The guitar playing
Yeah.
alone, I'm going to play more in the second playthrough. I
Yeah.
didn't play much because I just want to see so intuitive.
Well, there's so many videos out there on YouTube right now of people like playing songs on Ellie's guitar. It's mind blowing.
Yeah, I saw Enter Sandman on it.
Yeah,
I was
yeah.
like, what? So I'm gonna
Uh-huh.
have to mess with it because I play guitar in real life, so it's gonna be
Right.
fun.
Yep.
The touchpad's been useless up until now. So and
Yeah.
Naughty Dog was like, hold my beer.
Yeah.
You guys think this is useless?
What's really cool about it is, and I didn't play with it a whole bunch, but you don't just strum it. There's like you
can pick
touch it in different
Mhm.
places, and you're picking it. Yeah.
So yeah, you can make a little song. Oh, I bet Katie would love it.
Oh yeah. I let her play with it a little bit already. Just the guitar parts.
Is this going to be the next Guitar Hero? Are they ever going to bring that back?
I don't know.
You think maybe PlayStation VR would be the thing?
That'd be cool.
I actually always wondered what happened to those
but
games.
I've never do what?
I like those games, but they made like 15 a year. That's probably why they died.
I know. That is why. Yeah, everybody got burned out.
Guitar
on.
Hero 80s, Guitar Hero 90s, Guitar Hero Kiss, Guitar Hero blah blah, Guitar Hero blah. Then Rock Band this, Rock Band that, Rock Band this.
Yep.
Harmonica. What's next? Harmonica player, harmonica hero, xylophone master. Okay, now you got to play this song in front of a crowd on the xylophone. Go. Is he playing Enter Sandman? Man, this game
You're
rules.
messing
It's
up
just
the
like playing.
audio.
It's just like playing a real xylophone.
All right, we're off the rails.
We're off the rails on a crazy train, and I think we're gonna wrap this video up. And there we go. This is Shockingly Neil, and this is Hey Dad, Let's Play. And I guess if you liked our content here, just hit that like button, subscribe. If you didn't, well, hit the like button. Don't be a jerk. We don't like jerks. Nobody, I get dislikes sometimes for the dumbest things. I don't understand it. I only hit the dislike button for something that's truly reprehensible.
Yeah.
But then again, you're giving whoever you
YouTube-
dislike, algorithm.
Yeah, YouTube just counts as engagement either way. That's why.
So maybe I
That's-
should just make the hate videos like so many people do.
Yep. I've seen a lot of people now just saying like it if you like it and dislike it if you dislike it.
Just hit the button.
Yep.
I want all my subscribers though to head on over to Hey Dad Let's Play, click the subscribe button, leave him a comment, let him know how awesome he is because he took time out of his day to come here and talk shop.